Within the first 2 days that we arrived to this part of the world, there was an emergency in which we had to take cover, and it was unexpected. It hadn't happened in this location probably for years. Not to mention, we arrived in the advent of the war in Gaza, and just like 10 days ago, 3 American service members were killed in Jordan, which reminded me how uncertain life can be. But not only that, and this is reported publicly, so I feel comfortable saying it. I mean, 30, 40 more people were injured in the attack, and this is a small place where everyone knew everybody, where so many people were impacted that it changed fundamentally how people could interact. And I think it made me wonder about all these things, but it also made me realize that as much as we hold military service on this pedestal, this is every day for so many people in the States that don't live in neighborhoods upon which we would all call safe. This is every day for folks who are stuck in classrooms or stuck in food deserts that have been subjugated by systems that make it so difficult for them to reach out of poverty, reach out of so many generations of discrimination, of subjugation, of institutionalized racism. That it's crazy for me because, not to make this too political, but both of the people running for president that are likely to be the nominees of their party were born before the end of Jim Crow. They were born before the end of redlining. They were born before the Civil Rights Act, born before the Voting Rights Act. I mean, all of these things, and in fact, in many cases, they were adults and or participating in these debates. For so much of America to expect that all the sins of our past have been pushed aside, have been relegated to history, have been atoned for, is so incredibly wrong and selfish. And so, as I thought about these folks losing their lives, obviously it's a tragedy here, but it's every day for so many people that are still at risk or impacted by violence in their own neighborhoods, at home. And I think too many of us take it for granted, and too many of us separate this kind of violence from that kind of violence, and we realize it's happening every day. We need to do better to address it. And I think that being bold, I think that's what you were talking about to ask me about, being bold, especially when I was younger, was mistaken for being arrogant or being a know-it-all. And I think, if I'm honest with myself, sometimes I do think that I, in retrospect, was arrogant or did think I was a know-it-all. But I'd like to hope, even if it's not always totally accurate, that it was out of a desire to do good, to fix something, to help someone, even if it's myself. And I also think it's being bold is also a defense mechanism. And so fearful of what's to come, or what may happen, or what has happened, and what could happen again. And it's a complex trait. And I think that you cannot be bold without experiencing and knowing what fear means and is. Just like I don't think that you can be hopeful and be nurturing to that young man that lost his father without understanding what loss is like.